Hey my lovelies, it's Mitch here. I'm just coming on to do this Wednesday's Facebook card reveals for you all. This video will be slightly earlier today because I am shortly going over to Carpe Nocem in Frome and I'm doing a sold out night of private one-to-one readings in the shop. So I'm very excited about that. And then just to let you know, tomorrow I'm in Trowbridge Colour and Crystals doing another private evening of one-to-one readings in the shop, and it's also sold out for Trowbridge. So sold out tonight and sold out tomorrow. So I'm buzzing, I'm excited. Apologies if my hair looks bloody awful. Like I got like battered a bit in the wind and the rain earlier on our little walk. So yeah, apologies that I'm not looking that glamorous. It's booked to be cut on Saturday. Just in time for my big show. So not that I'm vain or anything, but I notice it always when I'm doing these lives or these videos. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's just call me Mr. Vain. So if you were drawn to card number 1, we're going into the energies of Skeleton, and it just says strength. Now, I think that I love this card because obviously the skeleton, the embodiment of the skeleton, it's the foundations of everything. It's, you know, what basically holds everything together, isn't it? And sometimes we don't recognize how strong we are until we're met with challenges, tricky situations. So I think more than anything, maybe you're going through a stage of life at the moment where you've had to really had your personal strength recognized, understood. Maybe you had to really call upon that sort of skeleton within to hold the foundations of your actions, your choices and your decisions. And maybe that was very scary for you. So if you've gone through something that's been personally very challenging, I feel this is a real sort of celebration card of your own personal strength. And that's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes we don't know how strong we are or how powerful we actually are until we're met with things. So yeah, I think more than anything this week you're being reminded to recognize your own strength. If you feel like you've had a very aggressive week, a very overwhelming week, just feeling a bit battered and a bit bruised, I think perhaps this is a time to just recognize and remember your own strength. And you might be going through something that's been quite testing and quite challenging, but that skeleton is still holding the foundations, it's still holding everything. So whatever you've been met with, whatever you've had to go through, it doesn't hurt or define you. It's just something that you've had to work with to sort of process, but you can come out the other side, you know? So that's kind of quite interesting. And obviously like the physical bones of a skeleton, it takes quite a lot to make bones crumble and sort of, you know, become dust. So to me, this is also that realization of like, yeah, it might be sort of horrible. You might be in the sting of something and it might have been quite not nice to have to deal with, but the bones are still solid, you know, that they still have that power, that magic within, and it'll take quite a lot for those to crumble. So yeah, I actually do feel that, you know, recognize your worth a little bit this week if you've been drawn to this card, I think is what the message is here. And you have the foundations of strength, even if you're being met or challenged with something, and maybe you are feeling very fearful and very scared. A lot of people I'm talking to in private readings are having a lot of health issues at the moment, and that can obviously be really scary. That can obviously be really overwhelming and everything else. But, you know, you do have this, and I can't always predict what the outcomes for things are going to be. And sometimes, you know, we have to go through those professional channels, particularly where health is concerned. But I do feel like you've got this on an energy level, you know? Okay, so as we're moving into card number 2, we are going into the card of Skull of Stars. And it just says here at the bottom, infinitive possibilities. I feel very much like I see this as like the same as the star within conventional tarot, and it's a time to reach for the stars. To me, this card represents your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, realizations of goals, everything coming good, everything coming together, and everything starting to manifest and become. And it's this real reminder, stars can't shine without darkness. So sometimes we have to go through the shadows, sometimes we have to go through the negativities of life, but the rebirth that can kind of come off the back of that can be quite powerful. So yeah, I think this is a really important time to manifest, obviously with the veil being very thin, you know, with obviously Halloween on Friday night. It's a great time for ritual work. It's a great time to honour ancestors and loved ones. And it's also a great time to sort of send your wishes and your intentions out. Give thanks for everything that's come into fruition so far, but be open to that next cycle, that next wave of magic, because Halloween, as we know, is the witch's new year. So it's an important time to obviously start to put down those and to plant those seeds for the year ahead of what you want to sort of bring forward for the next cycle, the next phase. But yeah, stars can't shine without darkness. So hopes, dreams, wishes, realizations of goals, everything starting to sort of be seized and become is what I'm feeling very strong from this card, if you've been drawn to it. Oh, apologies if you can hear, next door's decided to start the lawnmower up. So, not that I'm praying for rain and it just burns. That's pretty harsh of me. Oh, so inconsiderate when I'm doing a video. Like, how dare they? Never mind. Anyway, if you've been drawn into card number 3, we're going into Trick or Treat. And it just says at the bottom here, mischief and play. I kind of feel like this is a time for your inner child to come out. Maybe it's all been very serious, maybe it's all been very stressful, maybe there haven't been that many laughs recently, and I just think it's a time to have fun, to have a playful sense of humour, not to take life too seriously, not to take the world around us too seriously, because people can become offended and upset by everything, and you know, sometimes actually we can just shake it off, we can just laugh it off. There are times when that can be possible. Sometimes it's not possible, and then different actions have to take place. That's kind of back with this, knowing your strength. But sometimes, yeah, we can have fun, we can have a joke, and things can just be that. They can just be a joke without needing to become silly or worrying or detrimental. So Trick or Treat, I think, is definitely about kind of just exploring and bringing out that little inner child, particularly if there's a naughty child that doesn't get to show up very much. So have some fun, play a few tricks and treats on people, as long as you're not like actively hurting and harming anybody. Because there's difference between a sort of a little trick that sort of doesn't actually hurt but is just a trick, and then being an outright arsehole. Don't go into that space of being an outright arsehole, but it's playtime, it's having some fun, and it's not taking life too seriously. So if you felt a little bit restricted or a little bit held back, bring that playful side out this week, because it wants to explore. And what better time with the season of Halloween? It's a great time to get away with stuff you wouldn't necessarily be able to get away with. So that's coming in as well a little bit. So I'm going to leave these cards with you, going to leave these messages with you. I really hope that they resonate and make a bit of sense. What do I need to let you know about? So the main ones, like I say, tonight, Carpe Noctem, Frome tomorrow, Trowbridge tomorrow, Colour and Crystals, day off on Halloween, which I think I'm definitely going to need. And then the big one, on Saturday, I am down in Ilminster at the Warehouse Theatre. It's a very, very active paranormal theatre in and around the Somerset area. And it's the last show for this year's Spirit Magic Tour. The veil between the two worlds will still be very thin, because obviously Halloween is on the Friday. So all that magic, all that energy is still built up and it's still there for the Saturday. So come along, get involved. There are still some tickets left. It's over half sold out, but there are still some tickets left. So come and have a great night with Spirit. Come and have some fun. Come and have some laughter. I'll definitely be bringing out my Sweary Mary guide, and she's all about tricking and treating in a good way, but bringing in the love, the validation and the magic from Spirit as well. So that's going to be great. That's going to be really, really good fun. Also, we're bringing little Oscar to this one because we've not been able to get any dog sitting cover. So we haven't brought him before to this particular theatre. So that's going to be interesting. But he's coming along for the journey. So yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm looking forward to it. So like I say, I'm going to leave it with you. Keep shining bright. I really hope this week's messages make sense. Once again, thank you to all the love. I don't want to keep banging on about this, but so many people have been flooding me with messages, reference podcast activity and what's come to be. And all I'm going to say is keep an eye on January, because there's a new format coming. You know, me and Carly still really much wanted to do something, so we're like, fuck it, we're going to let the dust settle on Never Cross a Witch, but we are actually going to sort of do a new podcast which will be a lot more authentic witchcraft to us. It will encompass a bit more folklore and folk magic, but that's going to sort of be coming live at some time in January. So yeah, one door closes and another is going to open. So all good fun. Anyway, I will leave it with you. Keep shining bright. Thank you for all the love and the genuine support in my work and me as a person. And yeah, like I say, I hope this week's messages make a bit of sense. Just a final reminder as well, Season of the Witch sort of voice recorded readings are ending on Friday night, Halloween night at 12 o'clock. So if you're still umming and ahhing and thinking you want to purchase one of those, pop over to the website, quickly get one booked in before that gets taken down. But thank you so much. I'm going to leave it with you and I'll catch up soon. Bye for now.